my name is Milza. Welcome to week 17 and 18 of your prenatal fitness journey with me. I'm glad you're here, or whether you're returning, that's fantastic. So what I have here prepped up for our first circuit is a resistance band that it doesn't need to be this high, it just is for me for the purposes of location, but one resistance band is enough, and you really just want it enough to be able to pull down here. Another one is your dumbbells, whatever you're up to for squats, and then I have, whether it's a bench or a box, perhaps a little bit higher, because what we're going to be doing here is a one-arm row. So as you start to get a bigger belly, what's going to happen is you're not going to be wanting to go all the way down, right? Like originally it's meant to be like this. What we're going to do is perhaps have it a little bit higher on the box or a bench or something like that, or even perhaps on a chair if you're at home, right? So you've got a chair, you kind of go like that and doing this. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into our warm-up. So I'm going to put my little timer on here. Let's just keep marching on the spot. Circuit training. Alrighty. So 1 minute here. Right. So here we're just trying to get the blood flow going. Yeah, we're not trying to raise, our breath full on. The key throughout this program, throughout all prenatal fitness, is to always be not pushing yourself to the point where you can't talk. So the talk test, technically called, is to see how hard are you training. So if you are unable to hold your breath, that means you're training too hard and you are depriving your baby of oxygen for development, and that's actually extremely important for brain development and of course everything else. Yeah? Alright, so the goal is never to be out of breath. Yeah? Okay, a little bit of a to the side. Bit of a twist trunk. Yeah? Let's do 2 more on each side. Fantastic. Alright, so we're going to do a bit of mobility work for a couple of minutes because that's also important. So what I'm going to get you to do is one leg forward, one back. Now the heel back here is off the ground, but we're trying to stretch here, yeah? So what we're going to do, we're going to twist the trunk to the opposite side. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you come up here and we're coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah? Alright. And then we're going to do some twisting here, get that hip opened. Okay, let's swap sides. So back here, yeah. So we're coming back, twisting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, personally, this is up to you, depending on your belly. I do like to do a core mobilizer, and that's like if you're. It doesn't have to necessarily be for typical ab workouts, but it's really important generally here to sort of open up a bit, yeah? So you don't hold it there, just kind of come back and forth. we're integrating our core, and it sounds weird because you're pregnant, but you actually are in all your workouts, right? And to activate or to mobilize the core, you actually need to mobilize here. And then that also goes for also if you have a tight knees, or if your knees are wobbling, right, when you're coming down in that squat, it means this is tight and you need to mobilize it a bit more. Yeah? All right, fantastic. Let's do a bit of arms. Twisting the trunk now. Okay, fantastic. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start off with a squat suitcase. So what that really means, all it really does mean is essentially you're just going to step out about so hips apart, width starts, yeah, and you're going to come down and you're going to go with your dumbbells, and we're doing 4 tempos. So from the previous 2 weeks or last month, you may feel that you need to decline your weights. If that's the case, please go ahead and do 4 reps. If you feel like, I really don't want to reduce my weights, it's not that high anyway, but you kind of feel like, well, 4 reps might be a bit too much, you can go down to 10 reps, yeah? So we're going to start off with doing 12 reps and a tempo of going down 4 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you come up by 1. Yeah, so you're breathing in on the way down and you come up. 10 more. Now you might feel towards the end or at some stage throughout that, you know what, 4 seconds, oh boy, I don't think I can do 12. You can do 10, all right? So 10 to 12, depending where you are at. And you know, the first or second set, you might be able to do 12 reps, but that last set, maybe we'll do 10. And that's completely fine. The reality is that every woman is at a different pace. That particular day, you might be feeling a bit off, you might have had a bit of morning sickness, you might, whatever, not slept too well. So you really kind of have to listen to, you know, compared to where you were previously, and then how you're feeling that day, and so on. So that's why I give you variations. Alrighty. So we're now onto our 1 arm rows, and you might feel that you need to, if you've been with me from the start, we have started off with 1 arm rows and then went to other things, now we're back. But you might feel that you need to decrease the weight at this point, and that's perfectly fine. We're going to do 12 with a tempo of 4. If you're not reducing the weights, but you kind of feel like, oh, you know, I don't know if I can do 12 with that 4 tempo, you can do 10 as your first step in regressing. All right, let's go. Remember, you're not twisting the hips, it's just up and down. And swapping arms. a core. It's an integrated core exercise. So it's actually not a core specific exercise, but essentially it's a little bit like a lat pull down. So with your lat pull down, you're bent like this and you're kind of going like that, especially if you've been with me throughout from the start. But this is actually your upright, yeah? And all you're going to do, right, so you kind of want to be upright with your arms extended like this, level, yeah? And what you're doing is you're going down, yeah? So the core is contracting and then up. So this is a really great integrated core exercise for pregnancy and postnatal. So particularly for postnatal healing, it's really great. But it's also great for this. So slowly, and like the thicker the band, the harder the intensity. So pick that intensity band correctly. Now, if you have it's possible to have a diastasis recti during pregnancy as well, and that's actually when you see the belly button here bulging. So you might want to Google that because I can't display it on you, but to get an idea. So it's a little bit, you can become like a bit of bulging around the tummy. So something like that, you probably do want to avoid this kind of thing. Or if you have a hypertonic core, and you would have known that before you got pregnant as well, you want to avoid doing core exercises. They're more mobilizing that core. Okay, just been talking and not exercising. Yes. So this one is as well 12 reps as well. So remember, you don't want it to be hard enough to the point where you're kind of feeling it in your lats. It has to be a bit lower resistance than your typical lat pull down to feel it less in your lats and more in that. Fantastic. Alrighty, let's give you a 60-second break. Grab a bit of water. Alright. More seconds. Okay, we're getting back on to those suitcase squats. So let's get into positions and off we go. Breathing in on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. So with me, this is the tempo. Two more. Alrighty, fantastic. Let's get into those one-arm rows, yeah? Don't forget to breathe. Yeah? So quick up and slowly down. 1, 2, 4. Two more. Swapping arms and legs. So the arm that's working out, the opposite leg is forward, yeah? Let's go. Lucky last. Okay. And now we've got our straight arm pull down. Yep. So kind of arm level, yeah? And we're coming down. Give you a 60-second break here to grab a bit of water, relax, shake it off. Okay, let's get into positions for our suitcase squat, and this is our last round. So, let's get it on. Okay. And on a down of 4 seconds. And lucky last. Fantastic. Okay, we've got our one arm rows, so remember opposite arm, opposite leg forward, yeah? are not twisting the torso or the hips, yeah? It's all in one static position. And off we go. Two more. All right. Let's swap legs and arms, yeah? Lucky last. Fantastic. Alrighty, so great. We've got one more piece of exercise before we wrap up this circuit. Alright. Let's go. Arm level. Breathe in. Out. Fantastic, let's do one more. Lovely. Alrighty, well, that's the end of our first circuit. Give yourself a 1 minute break to get some water, whatnot, and I'll be back for second circuit. Hello, welcome back to your second circuit. So I've got set up here the same dumbbells or perhaps a little bit higher dumbbells for your traditional deadlifts. Usually you seem to, no matter if you're pregnant or not, you seem to be able to lift a little bit more in your deadlifts than you do for your squats, which is perfectly normal. So it's normal for you to increase that weight at the moment. We've also got dumbbells for some pectoral arm raises. And the last one that I have here is air punches. So that's also with dumbbells, or if you're doing weight free, I'll show you something else. Okay, so again, we're doing 3 sets, 12 reps, tempo of 4. So off we go. Now, with the traditional deadlift, yeah, it's not the stiff-legged one, yeah. So this is your stiff-legged, right? We're not doing that one. What we're doing is the one that you like a third or so, a bit more. You bend the knees, yeah. So you go 1, 2, 3. Yep, so you come down to here, you weigh, and you come back up. Okie dokes. So your scapulas are in place. place, the shoulder blades are in place, and we're coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And come back up. Okay, 11 more. Three more. Fantastic. All right, so we've got those out of the way. We're now doing the pectoral raises. So what this looks like is basically you're coming up. Yes, it's a front raise, you've got your wrist upwards, all right? So coming up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3. So 12 on each arm, can't do 12 all together, we've got 2 arms. Getting a bit of that burn in the arms. Fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do is, if you want to do the dumbbell option, what we're going to do is just air punches, yeah? The other option is, if you're going to do free weights, and I'll show you this example, is one, you can do the air punches if you like. The other one is we're going to do arm circles. Yep, so just arm circles backwards will do. And so we're going to do this exercise for 1 minute. Off we go. So just arm circles. That's it. Yeah. I remember when I used to start exercising, back in the day when I first started, and I was doing this exercise, and I actually found it quite challenging. It's actually a Pilates move. And you really start to feel it here. And now you can do the frontal circles. Fantastic. Okay, let's grab a 60-second break. to our traditional deadlifts. Okay, let's go. Now you might opt to do it on a barbell as well. That's completely fine, whatever you feel comfortable with. So we really want to be coming down smoothly, not a rigid 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we want to avoid that. Yeah. Fantastic. Alrighty. We're going back onto our arm raises now. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you find a tempo of 4 too much, bring it back down to 3. And we come up to arm level, yeah? Nothing higher. Fantastic, we're nearly there. I know this is a burn. Nearly there. Let's do 2 more sets. I mean 2 more reps. Fantastic. All right. So we're going to do the arm circles or your dumbbells, whichever one you are doing and up to. All right. So arm circles for a minute. Forward. And backwards, or the other way. Hope you're enjoying this one. It looks easy, but you know, once you do it for a minute, and after arm raises, it can be not as easy. Yeah. 10 more seconds. And you don't even have to do the arm circles quickly, you can just slowly feel a bit more of that burn. Okay, that's enough. Fantastic. Grab yourself a 60-second break. Shake it off. I always like to do a bit of some mini stretches between. I feel like it kind of releases that muscle so you can keep going with those weights. those deadlifts again. Our last round for this workout. Let's do it. All right. Ready? Go. More. Lucky last. Fantastic. All right, let's do those arm raises now. And off we go. Nearly there. Remember, if 12 is too much, bring it back down to 10 with 4 tempos, or what you can do is the other way around, 12 reps, tempo of 3. It's always good to mix it up as well. Alrighty, let's wrap it up. Fantastic. Shake it off. Alright, now we've got our arm raises or your air punches, whatever it is you like to do. Alright, let's go. 60 seconds. Nearly there. Let's keep going. Fantastic. All right. So we're just gonna, for the next 3 minutes, do a bit of stretching. We're gonna do our hamstrings. I think the hamstring is among the most important always to make sure you are stretching. So we're going to do the seated one because you are pregnant, and we're just going to try and touch our toes, keeping that back straight. So we start here, keeping the back straight, and then lean over. Don't try and arch your back. Just this is how you properly do a hamstring stretch. Yeah. Otherwise, you start bending that lower back, and it's like, well, it's not really a hamstring stretch, is it? It's more you just arching over. stretch those adductors like this. You probably can't, come forward. You just land back like this and just a bit like that. Fantastic. Or you can stand up, but we're going to now do our arm stretch. I hope you really enjoyed this workout, and I hope you've gained some new knowledge, and I hope to see you in the next one. So try and do this one at least 4 times a week for the these 2 weeks of pregnancy, and then after those 2 weeks we digress onto the following 2 weeks and so on. Swap. Fantastic. And a bit of that arm stretch this way. Fantastic. And one more that you should do as we wrap up is leaning against a wall or something, door, I don't know, and just pulling off and going like this. You can also actually do it just like this, yeah? So hip out that way, come this way, and feel that nice backline stretch. This is a hamstring, and this backline stretch is among the most important to always stretch at the end, because these 2 are just always used. I mean, if you're doing just an upper body exercise, you don't need to stretch your legs, but yeah, these 2 for a full body. And swap. Oh, that's such a wonderful stretch. Stretching is meant to feel good. It's not meant to be painful. Fantastic. Thank you, and I'll see you in a week or 2 time again.